it does seem to be a bit of a psychological barrier. And I don't know whether it's emotional hangover from what they pushed last season, but all the attackers have not looked the same in the way that they approach that final third. Sometimes you might see a bit of hesitancy as well, taking that extra touch instead of being confident with that shot. I mean, psychologically, how do you change that as an attacker?
Goals. Michelle, you got to stop and try and start putting the ball in the back of the net. Soon as you start doing that confidence and that free-flowing style of play, it just comes out and oozes. You see players who go on runs and the confidence that they build by scoring. As soon as you start missing the net, as soon as the games are nil-nils or you're not finishing those chances in the games, the more and more they come along and you start missing, the more and more your confidence is dropping in front of goal. So that sharpness that you once had, you're now a little bit tentative because you're trying to score so much that the finish ain't clean. So they just need to go and have a game where they win 3 or 4-0 and everybody chips in and the finish isn't clean. Then that will take them to the next game where you're flowing, oozing a lot of confidence and just go from there, because we know it can happen, because we've seen last season, you know, Martinelli with 15, Odegaard 13, Saka 15. So we know it's there, but right now they know that they're in a slump in front of goal. And, you know, we're all human and it's definitely playing on their minds. It's definitely playing on when they go into games. So they just need to literally have a game where they're scoring goals and walking off that pitch with bags of confidence.
And that's the thing, isn't it? Maybe that sort of warm weather training they had in Dubai just came at the perfect timing for them to reset psychologically. But we see there in this comparison from last season, individually as well, the shot conversion rate has taken a massive dip. I mean, Martinelli is arguably the biggest dip that we've seen so far, but even someone like Bukayo Saka, Darren, that Arsenal can typically rely on, has not looked the same. Even his body language at times, he's not smiling, he's not, you know, he's not exuding confidence at the moment, is he?
No, and Jermaine's absolutely right. It is psychological, and the only way they can get through this is by scoring goals. You look at some of the chances that we're going to look at now. They snatch at opportunities when last season they didn't snatch at these opportunities. That one there, Gabriel Jesus, that is an easy bread and butter header for him. And psychologically, he's thinking, I'm not going to score this, or I'm not confident to score this goal. So they don't do it. And the stat you just showed on the screen, 40 goals difference in comparison at the moment. I mean, that's incredible. And I think they're 17 goals behind Manchester City on open play at the moment as well. And all these opportunities, they'd have scored last season. And look, what they're doing on the training ground means absolutely nothing. It's what they do on the match day. As soon as they take one opportunity, as soon as Saka takes an opportunity, as Jermaine said, more often than not, you'll see him go on a run of 3, 4, 5 games of scoring, because the confidence is back. And unfortunately, in front of goal, they just haven't got the confidence.
Are they lacking that sort of elite striker in front of goal, that number 9? I mean, for all Gabriel Jesus is great for, and he really caused a lot of problems in opposition defence, they haven't got that one singular number 9 that can score 20, 30 goals a season, like maybe Man City have with Erling Haaland, Darren.
Yeah, for sure. And what concerned me at the start of the season, and Jermaine will tell you, that he came out, Gabriel Jesus, and I don't want to put words in his mouth because I don't know the exact quotes he said, but basically goals weren't as important to him than what he was doing to the team and the assists and the combination play.
That's not what you want to hear from your number 9, is it?
Exactly. I've played with top centre forwards before. Alan Shearer, for instance, you would never have seen him say that. He just goes out there, self-minded, self-belief, and wants to get the goals himself. There was a match, Sheffield Wednesday. Alan Shearer scored 4, won a penalty. He took the penalty. He didn't let no one take it. That's what a centre forward is. You need to be scoring goals. Okay, the contribution he does to the team helps, of course. That's why other players score. But the number 9 centre forward needs to get as many goals as possible.
It's just so ironic, Jermaine, that it was last year, if I'm not mistaken, they actually hired a new attacking coach, Hussein Issa. It's not a positive reflection on his coaching at the moment and his inclusion. But I mean, when you look at this side, is it also, are they becoming a bit predictable at times, do you feel?
A little bit, because I think now teams have rectified their strengths. Arsenal love to use Martinelli and Saka as their focal, their main strike kind of force going forward. So you've seen a lot of teams now doing a lot of doubling up, Been a little bit of rough treatment to Saka. Have we seen Arteta come out saying that he needs a bit more treatment, a bit more respect from the referee, a bit more help? So teams are finding out how to try and stop Arsenal at source. But still, you've got a lot of great players around that can also chip in. You know, Havertz, Jesus, again, like Darren said, for a number 9, like I said yourself, Michelle, those numbers are not good enough. And to try and compete with the top guys, Man City, your Liverpool, your Spurs, Newcastle, you need a good number 9 who can get you 15 minimum a season. Otherwise, you're going to be struggling. You're going to be relying too much on your midfield, and that is a massive, massive ask.
So why didn't they add another dimension to their attack, in the sense that why did they spend money on getting Kai Havertz? Understandably, yes, you do have to replace Granit Xhaka at some point. But they also spend money on that loan deal with David Raya when your goalkeeper and Aaron Ramsdale is arguably good enough. Why not take all that money and go and spend it on an elite striker?
It's perfect. That money could have been there easily with those funds they just spent. They could have got Ivan Toney. And I've been saying, all along for the past 2 years, he would be absolutely a perfect fit for Arsenal. He works hard, just like Jesus, winning the ball back. He's technically gifted, and he's one English goal scorer who's always been up there just behind Harry Kane for the past 3 years. So we know in the Premier League he can get goals at Brentford. So you put him in an Arsenal team that's creating chances, having 63 shots on target, with a guy like Ivan Toney there. All your worries and troubles are more or less solved. So why have they not gone for that? You can ask the guys at the top with that one, because it's a bit baffling.
Yeah, I think they'll be keeping an eye on the Brentford game later on today. There's a high chance that Ivan Toney will be in the starting 11, but these are just rumours at this point. Let's talk about Bukayo Saka for a moment. I know we talked about generally all the attackers taking a dip. Bukayo Saka has always seen as that sort of central figure to their attack, as being their academy boy. He's come up through the ranks and he's been their star, the one that they relied on. Top scorer this season, still in the Premier League, Darren, but only 6. And individually, we talked about how he doesn't look the same, but he doesn't have the same link-up play with Martin Odegaard as well. It was that partnership that really flourished last season, Darren.
Yeah, it certainly did. And what I see with Bukayo Saka, and I've said this before, is he is the definition, the example of a product from an academy. Now, why I say that is not many things that I've seen recently is off the cuff. When you look at Phil Foden, for instance, he can do things on a split second, off the cuff. No one knows he's going to do it. More often than not with Bukayo Saka, 99 out of 100 decisions are the right decisions, but nothing's off the cuff. It's all academy kind of based football, where everything is correct, everything's right. Sometimes you say, oh, Bukayo Saka didn't play well, and then you look at the stats and you say, well, he had 8 dribbles, 100% success rate, 90 passes, 80, 90% success rate, but nothing is off the cuff. And I think that's just one thing in his game that I think he needs to change, is try and do so, because he's talented enough, he's got the ability, he's the first choice for England in terms of the wide berth. So he just needs to change and do a little bit extra to try and create opportunities for himself and for the team, like he did last year and the year before.
Is that what he's missing, Jermaine? That cutting edge?
A little bit, yes. Is it a lack of he's being overused? He's probably the most overused player in Arsenal, 82 games straight without, coming off throughout the season. So is a little bit of fatigue kicking in, because he's still only 19? That could play a big part. Also, I think it's getting a little bit predictable now. I think, defenders and teams know he's going to cut in on his left. So, show him down your right and block the left-hand side, because we know that's what they're going to do. We know Mo Salah, that's his trademark, but for Mo Salah, it's just unstoppable for some reason. So I think he needs to add a little bit more to his game, not be scared to go on his right, and also that will give him more options. It will give the defenders a little bit more thinking to do. Is he going to go on his right? Is he going to go on his left? So just a little bit more not being one-dimensional, I think, may help his game as well.